started today on making peanut butter cookies, the best ever peanut butter cookies, by the way. So come along and join in and let's get started for today. Well, we're going to go ahead and start with half of a cup of butter. Okay, so usually the foundation for every cookie is butter. Brown sugar also, that goes right in there. And then we're going to do half of a cup of sugar here as well. So just put it in there and a half of a cup of sugar. Okay, after you do the creaming method with the sugar and the fat, you're going to add in 1 egg here. Put it right in there, and it doesn't take long to do the creaming method. Okay, there we go. Our next item is going to actually be the peanut butter. So this is the key to the best ever peanut butter cookies. Like some people say use Jiff, but Jiff and Skippy have hydrogenated vegetable oil, and they also have sugar in them, okay, plus salt. That's what gives it that same consistency, so you don't have to stir it in order to open it up and use it. So all this is organic peanut butter. It is straight peanuts, crushed peanuts, and then also a little bit of salt, okay? So we're using a half of a cup of that. So it is a little, it's more runny than Jiff and Skippy and other brand names that have those chemicals in them, and or not really chemicals, but ingredients that are not good for you. So these are healthier, but they're also better tasting as well. So that's why I have begun to use this one only. This is my only type of peanut butter that I use. So let's put this up for a minute here and put our peanut butter in here, a half of a cup. Organic only. So the next thing that you're going to do is just move that in there, get that all combined together. Doesn't taste long at all. Okay, the next thing that is going to go in, 1/4 of a teaspoon of baking soda goes in here. And then you're going to do a half of a teaspoon of baking powder. And remember, use Rumford's or something that's aluminum free. Trader Joe's has one as well. It's cheaper than Rumford's. I always like to use healthier products, you know, because it makes for a healthier life. So that's important. We're going to put in there 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt, okay? And I kind of heap it up a bit because I like to do a little bit more than a 1/4, okay? So 1 1/4 cups of flour. So let's do the 1/4 first here. Pull that off. Toss this in here. Let's go ahead and turn this on a little bit here. Let's do 1 cup here as well. And oh gosh. Let's see. Okay, here is our cup. Stop it here. Put in a little bit and then turn it back on. A little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. Now we're done here. You don't want to overmix the cookie dough, so as soon as it's combined together, stop the mixer. And look, this is what it looks like here. And okay, it is time to roll up the peanut butter cookies. So you're just going to take the dough and you're just going to roll it into kind of larger sized balls. Okay, so whoops. And you can buy chunky peanut butter. Okay, now you can also buy creamy is what I usually use. And you're just gonna keep on rolling these up. Now, the amazing thing about peanut butter cookies is the history behind them, right? Is that in the 1900s, George Washington Carver wanted to start selling peanuts and wanted to market the peanut, you know, and start making a profit off of peanuts. So the first cookbook was like published in 1902 from a Mrs. Rohr, and she was basically had peanuts, but they were chopped up in some cookies. So it wasn't actually a peanut butter cookie per se, but they were chopped up nuts mixed into cookies. And so in about 1916, they started to then publish a bulletin, okay? And this bulletin had in it 505 ways to use peanuts for human consumption. Quite a funny article. And that kind of began the route. And then later on, Pillsbury had competitions. And so they began to, in I think 1957, they published an article, or had a competition, excuse me. And in this competition, peanut butter cookies won. We're going to start using our fork on these. So remember, we are doing this because it helps them to spread on the pan. So just do one way and one the other direction, just pushing down and creating this nice round cookie here. Okay. Yep, they're all done now. Set our temperature on 375 and start. Then we're going to put a little sugar on these. Oh gosh, that was way too much. A little sugar on these. Put a little sugar on these here and get them all set up, ready to go. Not too much, just a little bit. Okay. The sugar on these makes them delicious. Okay. Just keep on going here. Not too much, just a little bit. Here we go. Alright. So the other thing that we're going to do is we're going to put a little bit of salt in here. Okay? So this is going to be pretty delicious here. So I usually just sprinkle on just a little bit of salt. A little bit of salt, not too much. The salt really brings out the flavor of the cookies. Okay, and yes, that bake-off competition in 1957 by Pillsbury was the beginning of the peanut butter cookie as we know it today. So I'm just finishing up. I have, this makes quite a few cookies. So we've got 12 on one tray. And we're going for, let's see how many more we can get on here. So I've got, this is number 14. And here's probably number 15. Gets a little crummy at the bottom, so you have to watch it, right? Here we go. Easy guys, 16 cookies. And let's get out our handy dandy fork again and get these smashed down here, and then they'll be ready to go. Our handy dandy fork here. And this is taking a while. You know, it takes a while to do these cookies. The main part that's time consuming is actually doing the fork marks and making sure that the cookies are one consistency. Okay. Yep, just like this one here. It went belly up here. It crumbled a little bit too much. And you know, just to be honest with you, if you use other types of peanut butter like Jiff, this usually does not happen because of the hydrogenated vegetable oils that are in that are bad for you, by the way. We're not supposed to be using trans fats, and that would be a trans fat. Okay. And bottom shelf and top shelf. So set this for 12 minutes here. Start. Beep. Beep. Okay, let's see if these are done now. And look at those. They look Okay, after your cookies have been, resting for about a minute, you're going to go ahead and put on a little bit more sugar. Okay, not too much, just a little bit. Okay. A little bit there. A little smidgen is what we call it, a little smidgen. Alright, I think that is good right there. And then we're going to also put on a little pinch of salt on each of these. So you apply, then reapply all of the things that you put on top. And this is basically the key to making a great peanut butter cookie, is the salt and the sugar on top. We're ready to move them on over, get underneath them and start cooling them down here. And here we go. Honestly, I just don't like the cookies that are from Betty Crocker cookbook, they're too sweet for me. I like to taste the peanuts in them. And so this is my version of the best ever peanut butter cookie you'll ever eat, right? Well, it is that time in the show when I try them, because I can't hold back from trying a peanut butter cookie, especially mine, the best ever. Okay, so I'm just going to pick one of these up and try it. Oh my goodness. Soft, melty, buttery, crispy at the same time as well. A little bit of sugar at the top and a little bit of salt to enhance the flavor of the peanuts. You got to try these. Thank you. See what I mean? Peanut butter gets stuck in your mouth. That's why they don't spread. But thank you for joining me today for this version of peanut butter cookies, the best ever. Join me again in a couple of days, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.